Hi friends, I'm Miss Stacy from the Frick, and today we are going to make paper puppets. And so I have a lot of different materials in front of me. We don't need all of these things, but it can be fun to use them and just keep them on hand just in case I decide I want them for my art making. So I have my paper bag. I have some colorful paper. It can be colorful, it can be patterned. I have some chenille stems. I have popsicle sticks, markers, pom-poms. These are like little teeny tiny squares. I have big and little gems, tissue paper, a glue stick, and scissors. So I'm going to be thinking about the different colors that I'm using, the shapes that I'm using, the lines, and the texture. So I get a really fun texture, especially from a pom-pom ball that's very soft and squishy. Or I might take this and it's kind of rough on my fingers. So we're working with all of these different elements of art today. And this, our paper bag, is going to be our puppet. So before you get started, it is really important to know what part of the paper bag are certain parts of the puppet's body. So the opening of the bag like this, it might help if you open it up and put your hand in. And I'm gonna cup my hand like this inside. It'll be like that. So I'll stick my hand in and then I put my fingers down and I can see that this is going to be my puppet's face. And this line right here where I can open is their mouth. So in here is the puppet's mouth, and then this is my puppet's body. I'm going to take my hand back out so now I know this is the face, this is the mouth, this is the body, and I'll remember that while I'm working on my puppet. So I'm going to start by giving my puppet some color. So I might take some of my markers. And remember, we're thinking about colors and lines and shapes and textures. So maybe I'll take my purple marker and I'll draw some lines at the bottom. Remember, this part is my puppet's body on this big rectangle down here. So I like to think of this as my puppet's clothes. So I decorate their clothes. So there are some straight lines with purple. Maybe I'll take a blue and draw some wavy lines. And I don't want you to do exactly what I'm doing. You can just get some ideas from me, but I bet you are really creative and have some great ideas in your head already. And if you have an idea, I want you to do it. Do some dotted lines with my red marker. Dot, 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 dot. All the way across. I'm just decorating their clothes. I'm thinking of this kind of like a sweater. I'll take my green and draw a curly line. Just loop-de-loop. And I'll take a pink and draw a zigzag line. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'll take a brown marker and draw some spirals. So they start really big like a circle and then they get smaller and smaller. Start really big and get smaller and smaller. Just like that. So now I've decorated my puppet's body And maybe I'm feeling really creative for my face. Maybe I can take a paper, and before I use my scissors and cut, it's important to draw where my scissors will be going. So I like to draw what I'm going to cut first. So let's think, maybe I'm going to draw a triangle. 1, 2, 3 sides. And I'll take my scissors. And remember, my thumb is facing the sky, and I open and shut, and I really carefully open and shut, open and shut. And now I have my triangle cut out. I'll take my glue stick, put some glue on the back. I'm gluing it down right in the middle of my paper. And I bet you can guess what part of the face the triangle is. It's a nose. So I have to think about what's on a face. So usually we have 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, maybe some hair, ears. And I can even open the mouth and think about what's in the mouth if you're feeling really creative. But for now, I have my triangle as my nose. And think about what shape eyes are usually. They're usually circles, right? So maybe I'll take my marker and draw a big circle. 2 big circles. And to decorate my eyes even more, I'm going to take my circle gems and I'm going to put those in my eyes. And you can use, we also have circle stickers, so you could use a circle sticker in the eye. I'm going to use my gems though. And my gems are heavy, so when I glue the gems, I put some glue down and I press and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll do the same thing. I put the glue where I want the gem to go. And I press down and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that way I can make sure it's really stuck on that paper. I'm also now thinking about the details. So we have eyes, but we also have eyelashes to protect our eyes from dust and dirt and things that could get in them. So I can draw my eyelashes. I can draw my lips. Maybe some rosy cheeks. And I'm going to keep decorating my puppet. So remember, puppets have hair, or they can have hair. So I'm going to take my tissue paper. So these little teeny tiny squares that we have that are all these different colors. And you can keep a tissue paper flat, or I really like to crumple it up with my fingers just like that and do a little ball. That's another way to make a good texture. They're very crunchy. So I'm going to use this for my puppet's hair. And again, you don't have to give your puppet hair. And if you do, you don't have to give them tissue paper for hair. This is just what I'm doing. I'm going to give them a little more. The nice thing about tissue paper is so light. So it glues down really, really easily. I'm just going to keep crumpling. I think I'm going to keep this hair pretty short. Just on top. crumple and press, crumple and press, crumple and press. It dried up a little, so I'll put some more glue down. Whew. So there, now my puppet has eyes, a nose, a mouth, a really nice shirt or dress or whatever they're wearing. And now I want to give them some arms because I think that's really fun to do. So you can use your popsicle sticks or you can use the stems. I'm going to use my stems because I like the way that I can bend them into different shapes. So I'm going to practice. So I'm starting off just like this, a straight line, and maybe I'll bend, bend, whew, bend. I'm making a zigzag line, bend, bend. So I'm going to have my arm just like that. And I'll do the same thing with another stem. So I'll start it with a straight line, and I'm going to bend it. I'm going to make them both zigzag arms. Bend. And I'm going to put some glue. So our arms are usually near the top of our bodies. So put some glue near the top, and I'm making this really goopy because I do not want their arms to fall off. So I'm going to hold and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'll do the same thing. 2 arms. Press this down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I'll bend these up. So I have to be careful with my arms. Whoop, see that one fell because I moved it. And you know what happens if it falls off? It's no problem. We just glue it right back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. I have my arms, and I want to use my pom-poms because I think they're just so fun. And I think I'm going to wrap my hands around my pom-pom to make my puppet hold them. You can also glue them down. I'm going to have it just like that. And they're like little hands right at the end of their arms, just like mine. Arm, hand. So I'll take my other pom-pom. And I wrap my puppet's hand around it. Ah! See, Miss Stacy isn't, I'm not following my own advice. So silly. I need to let these arms sit before I play with them again. Because glue, if you remember, really needs time to dry. And if it doesn't have time to dry, this will happen, it'll fall off. So once we're finished with our puppets, we're not going to play with them right away. We'll give them some time to dry and to sit. Have my arms, maybe I'll add a little bit of extra decoration. Remember, I have these squares. And maybe I'll use my glue stick and put some squares. So I put just a little bit of glue where I want them to go. And you know, if I tilt my square, it becomes a diamond. Little dot of glue. And a square. A little dot of glue. I tilt it, it's a diamond. And one more little dot of glue for my square. Oof. So once I'm finished, I'm going to put the cap back on my glue stick. It got a little messy, that's okay. Cap back on my glue stick tidy my area up a little bit. I make sure the caps are all on my markers so that they don't dry up and they last a long time. And then once your puppet is done, you can put our fingers inside and see how we get practice opening their mouths. And I'll put mine back down so he can finish drying. And then I think it's important to name our puppets when we're finished with them too. And I think I am going to name this puppet Pepper. I think she seems like a pepper. So that's our last step. I name my puppet. Thank you for joining me, friends.